Hey YouTube, what is up? It's CS back here with another installment, and here is my review for episode 26 of Deadliest Warrior between Genghis Khan and Hannibal. Now, first off, I'd like to say that's probably my favorite ancient matchup ever on Deadliest Warrior, and one of my favorite matchups, period. You had two great combatants going at it, you know. At first glance, you're like, oh, Genghis Khan has that tactic advantage. He's probably going to win. But Hannibal was still an OG, so what can I say? In my opinion, it was still an even fight. But in the end, Genghis Khan basically bested Hannibal everywhere. Yeah, what can I say? He had better armor, he had better weapons, he had better tactics. You know, that feigned retreat, to do that over the course of 9 days, the discipline you need to do that shit, damn, you know. And it seemed like a really safe idea. Like, in my opinion, fuck, you hit him, you run, and then they run into a brick wall of like 18 grand in troops. It's not a terrible idea. I like that tactic. You know, the double envelopment to me had a greater risk for failure. That's just my opinion. But I'll get to the rest of the X factors later. Let's take a look at weapons starting in special. Now, what can I say? Special weapons. I already mentioned this in my predictions video. I did not like the way they tested this shit. You know, you test the elephant, of course, from Hannibal's side against humans, like the gel torsos, and then you test Genghis Khan's recurve bow against elephants. Like, to me, that wasn't fair, because use the bow against humans, so why not use them against gel torsos that simulate as humans instead of the elephant? The objective, which Genghis Khan will know when he is plugged into sim, is to kill 5 other dudes, with one of their leader being Hannibal. So, like, why was that shit tested against the elephant? You know, it's not the primary objective here. So, to me, I didn't think it was a good look. I did not like that test. And hey, if Genghis Khan got a fair test here, the friggin' results would be off the charts for him. They'd win at least 60-40 in the end. They actually won 55-45. I did predict 55-45, and I also predicted that the elephant would get less kills than the bow in the end. I know for the manner they tested the bow against the elephant, of course the elephant had to get the edge, but I just said, you know, the bow is too versatile of a weapon to, you know, not have as many kills in the end. It's just the better weapon. You know, there's a reason why people were using bows up until last century, and elephants have been, you know, extinct in warfare for the longest time, since Hannibal's, you know, defeat and shit, you know. Weren't, like, Carthaginians, like, the only well-known users of that shit? You know, elephants existed in Africa, of course, and in India. And you don't see all of them using elephants in war, you know what I'm saying? Like, but everyone in the world, North America, you know, even in Africa, they had arrows. Europe, they had arrows. You know, Japan, fucking Mongol Empire, the Aztecs had arrows. You know, everyone was using arrows. Why? Because they're good and they worked. Fucking Mongol bow took over a continent and you gave the edge to elephants. You gotta be kidding me. But yeah, in the end, Mongols got more kills with the bow, so edge, recurve bow. But yeah, let's move on to short range, get that special weapons BS out of the way. This one's easy test. You gotta give this to Genghis Khan's saber over the falcata of Hannibal. The falcata I really don't like as a weapon. You know, there's a reason why Romans were using the gladius at the time over the falcata. It's just a better sword. You know, the falcata, you make things hard for yourself by trying to hit someone with the upper part of the blade. I'm not feeling that, you know. If you're going to have a hacking weapon, like, make it like the katana, make it like the gladius, you know. You can basically cut in half something real easy, and you don't have to be entirely accurate with a certain part of the blade. And he was able to do that in the dismounted test when they were testing against, like, the 4, you know, pork back ribs or whatnot, and it was able to generate as much force as the saber. But once you're on horseback, holy crap, that thing's hard to use, because now you're moving and it's not as easy to put that top part of the blade where you want it. While if you have the saber, that thing is heavy everywhere, and with the speed that it comes at you with that momentum, it was already faster than the Falcata dismounted. That was definitely a factor into this test. It's coming hell of a lot faster on horseback, and it's a hella hard to miss with it too because of that big ass blade. It's probably gonna cut shit up no matter what on the horseback test, and it did. So what can I say? It performed better on horse, short range, like dismounted. It still has the reach. I gotta give the edge to that weapon. It's kind of hard to make a case for the Falcata here. Gotta give it to Genghis Khan and the Turco-Mongol saber edge. Genghis Khan again. Next up, we have no, not mid-range. We got the armor to look at now. We have the Musculata armor of Hannibal, and then we have Genghis Khan's lamellar. And the lamellar just outperformed because it could survive a headshot while Hannibal's couldn't. What can I say? That's about it. You know, I'm kind of surprised they didn't do a mobility test for this. I guess it wasn't exactly vital due to the fact that both, in my opinion, looked as mobile as each other's armor. And I guess they did that certain type of armor test in the Joan William episode because we would figure that plate would be a lot clunkier than chain, and I guess they just wanted to shatter those rumors. So I guess that's why they did that test. Would I've, liked to see a mobility test here? Yeah, but I think it would have kind of been like a draw-ish, and the end armor is meant to protect, and the lamellar just did that better than the Musculata armor. That helmet needs some work. What can I say? I did not like the look of it when I saw Hannibal in the previews and shit. So it's no surprise why that saber was able to do a skull fracture on that torso wearing that helmet. So what can I say? One could survive a headshot, the other couldn't. Edge, lamellar for Genghis Khan. But moving on, now we have mid-range weaponry. And here's where Hannibal gets back in this fight. He had the Saul Ferrum against the Jita Lance of Genghis Khan. And Saul Ferrum was definitely a better weapon with S in parentheses here. Because he had multiple Saul Ferrums. And it, how can you go against less, projectiles? You gotta go with the Saul Ferrum here. Did the same damage that the Jita Lance did, and he had like fucking 4 or 5 of them. So, gotta give it to more weapons, More weapons equals, say if you miss with that thing, miss throwing with that, you still have another one. And say if you stab someone with one, you can stab them with another one. So, it's just hard to go against that weapon. Maybe you don't like its clumsiness because, say, if you miss. But, hey, I'd rather have, 5 big-ass arrows than just the one single lance that does the same damage. So, in my opinion, Saul Ferrum getting the edge makes sense. And it really outperformed the Jita Lance in the end. So, yeah, that about does it with the weapons and armor. Of course, armor, metallurgy. Genghis Khan got that. The rest of the X Factors, holy shit. You had intimidation, strategy, tactics, all going to Genghis Khan. How does he lose with, having the better special weapon already and having the better short range, the better armor already? Very hard for Hannibal to make that up back, but thanks to the Saul Ferrum, he didn't lose as much. So, what can I say? That salvaged some kills for Hannibal, but in the end, it still wasn't enough. And again, I will say this, Genghis Khan, if he had a fair test in the Mongol bow, he would have done a hella better, but he still won. Better man won, in my opinion. There's a reason why more people know Genghis Khan is than Hannibal. Genghis Khan, dude, the guy almost took over the world, over half of the world, basically, He took over Asia, parts of Europe. Yeah, the guy was that dude, you know what I'm saying? He never lost a single battle, and he's still undefeated, basically, by beating Hannibal out of 1,000 here. So, what can I say? Props to Genghis Khan. Yeah, one of the best episodes I've ever seen on Deadliest Warrior. Thanks. So, tell me what y'all thought of this episode. Who did you pick? Why? If you have any complaints, I'm sure you guys have lots. And yeah, I guess I hope you guys enjoyed my review. I kind of am a little less serious during my reviews. I'm not sure if you've noticed. Because usually I'm just high off, just having fun off watching that episode and shit. So I'm just trying to have fun, I guess. But again, thanks for all the support. I guess some of you guys want to know what I have to say, so I really appreciate that. And I want to know what y'all have to say still too. So just please drop me a comment or leave me a video response. I accept both, no problem. Again, thank you for all the support. You guys are awesome. Follow me on Facebook, Tumblr, or Twitter if you guys have that stuff. And again, if you agree with the result, thumbs it up. If you don't, thumbs down, please. And yeah, I guess that's about it for me. So subscribe if you like what you see. Thank you again, and take care.